as they will be popping out into the top site Molotov as well, just to keep things orderly. And Heaven will be sectioned off. They should be able to get this bomb plant quite comfortably.
Yeah, it's going to be one of those tricky little 5v5s potentially, although as I say that, Linus is getting removed from the equation as the bomb plant goes down. No kits currently in the possession of NAVI either, so they have to have a couple of extra seconds to charge on in spare. Just waiting to see if you can distract away from where Bit is currently residing from, coming in towards the retake now, and it's just looking gorgeous for NAVI, isn't it? I was going to say near flawless before Alcaran finds one, but it is just going to be extremely difficult for him to get something situated. Everybody on NAVI getting a piece of the action in this pistol.
Get aggressive on this round, to be honest with you. And I think rumour has it as well. I think, you know, Blade did crack a smile at some point, so...
we'll see how many more of those will come on out, right?
You have to do it raw. So I don't like their chances of facing the firing squad here. That's nice and easy. And Alcaran's just looking to try and find a timing. He's going to get there with the Zeus.
Oh, he's got it.
He's got it. What damage can he do from here?
He's a little bit stuck.
He is.
A1S not able to do anything there from Alexi B. So one, good for a little chuckle for yourselves over on Heroic, but it was just all the... You've got the single for X-Floud to layer on in, but this is where you need to start to see a couple of sharp headshots be poised from them to break and enter into this top site. There's going to be some resilience and util still from Navi available as well. Oh, missed smoke on the molly. Yeah. Takes a very small amount of damage, so it's not going to phase him too much, but now he starts to get into the action. Good defense is being laid down by Alexi B, and wonderful to chime in from the heavens. And now it is all on to X-Floud to see if he can come up with the 1 versus 3. Bomb on his back. 30 seconds to play with as well, but it just feels like it might be nigh impossible when no one on Navi are giving you this fight. Got it out though, as I say that. And now the opportunity does arise.
They need not give him individual picks here. Bit though, stepping quite confidently. Obviously had wonderful in Heaven as well, but
it'll be all good as far as Navi are concerned. They weather through, you know, relatively easily the first rifle round of Heroic. Now they just need to make sure that they can continue this little flawless run on the CT side for now.
Yeah, that molly just stopping the smoke from blooming where it needed to. So Navi have to burn... Sorry, Heroic have to burn another smoke in order to get down into secret. Need to be careful here because he's going to be overwhelmed.
Yeah, Youngster's
dropped. They're getting
running on. He's just taking everything into his own hands from the Tet 9, straight shooting. And now it's on to Wonderful to see if he can do anything with this orb. That should have been a gimme. Don't know where that bullet went into Narnia. Youngster coming out with the 4K to get Heroic on the board and in a round that they really had no business to be involved in.
Yeah, he just went full hero mode in that round, didn't he? Just as this round starts to go longer, they will bleed through utility and it will get a little bit more difficult for them.
And you know that Heroic are going to recognize that as well, right? When they hear the lesser weapons, they know that there's going to be minimal utility investment behind it too. You just got to have this spidey senses tingle at you if you think there's going to be an AWP in the plate, as I highlighted earlier, for Bit to be able to drop that one over. Now the position of the AWP is noted, but you weren't expecting the second man. AK down, lobby control for Navi. And they should recognize as well that all of Outers has just been gifted over to Heroic. So it's time for a couple of adjustments in positions around the map to watch all the angles they can come in from.
Yeah, Nilo is going to be taking Heaven, but they've also now got Secret as well. So this is really going to put Navi in flux as to where they rotate. And they're just folding the dominoes one by one. It's only really Wonderful, who may even just be flanked here, to be honest with you. They have no idea.
Really well pieced together so far for Heroic in this round. Wonderful. I mean, he's just going to get pressured anyway by Nala, who's wrapped around. 4 alive for Heroic.
Heroic are just looking a little too comfortable at the moment. So maybe looking to try and disrupt that comfort is on the cards.
Oh, this is going to be an important one for them, isn't it? See if they can take the lead here and once again break NAVI a bit. Him up, getting pressured at top site and in the flames. Well, that's just going to tickle youngster. X-Floud, his teammate, going to be destroying him. And speaking about destruction, there is not a lot of health on these remaining heroic members.
Yeah, they run into a brick wall in trying to get out top site very quickly. I don't think the change in pace was honestly needed from heroic, but they run straight into the meat grinder. It's a nice shot from him out.
Yeah, it's going to be a little bit tantalizing, right? When you're not worrying about your own economy too hard into the immediate round as heroic, you know that NAVI have gone in with a couple of scrapping utility pieces. It's definitely a possibility to try and hunt for something here at the tail end of this round, but just feels a little bit too overwhelming now for Linus to try and isolate any of these duels. He'll still play his hand at it, see what he can spot. The answer, though, gonna be nothing. Everybody alive for NAVI to bring a little bit more stability into the play after the timeout.
Looking pretty flush. The cup runneth over. So change up with the smoke, actually. That's quite neat because they recognise the Molotov was going down early on, so they've routed their smokes differently.
Yeah. To remember as well, no AWP at the moment for NAVI on this CT side to take a little bit more of these forward lines and trip heroic up. Good open up onto X-Floud and a bit of a spot into the hut as well. So you start to formulate a bit of an idea that it's going to be a top site crunch now with the wall of smokes that starts to fade in out as Mikaze very aware of what's happening around him. The orb, though, shotgun style from Alcarin coming up with a couple of goods, and this is just an overwhelming play into the top site right now. Benima, he wants to have more into this round. He wants to be the closer. He's not going to be able to do so as now we turn to Bit.
And he's got to just, well, he wasn't going to wait out that Molotov at all. He heard the sound cue, and youngster had just an easy frag from there.
But it just gets pulled away immediately from some very quick, sharp shots from heroic. And once again, the economy, a fickle thing on the CT side of Nuke if you're going to be backwards and forwards between buys. So this is going to be, once again, a very important one. Shadow advantage for Mikaze. Wonderful. Attempting to get something situated, but it's just not working out. Backwards and forwards affairs. And you're looking for some advantage to come in for just one of these teams at the moment. Finally, maybe now, heroic having some stability in towards this round. 1 versus 3 attempt from Bit, but the flames will tickle him. And despite the low HP for the remaining 2, heroic get it over the line in, again, a scrappy affair.
That Mac 10 could do damage very easily to 4 members of NAVI.
It could, yep.
Alcarin gets a slither of a chance as the smokes will allow the cross. Mikaze doesn't want to stick around for too much longer, but Bit will get a nice chance to find the opener. No one there for the reply of the trade.
Yeah, just no expectation on heroic that someone was going to be in the garage again. This time, some individual duels being won out by NAVI. Wonderful. Getting that crosshair situated quite fluidly as well, and this one is just right in the wave for NAVI. Not a single point of damage delivered to them just yet, and it might still be that way until Nilo gets the trade. But in a 1 versus 5 attempt, you're just looking for damage at the end of the day here. Again, we're just saying the same story. Money's fine for heroic, as Bit will be there to close. NAVI now trying to tackle things to tie it up.
Last round of the half, trying to, I guess, salvage what has been, you know, it felt as though heroic have really just had the run of play, especially since the gun rounds have come out. It's not going to be able to beat out Bit.
No.
Trade is good. I'm actually really impressed with youngster.
Oh, but there's more damage being delivered at the moment in outers, and now Linus just has to try and do what he can in the open. It will get traded on out eventually, but everyone's so far spread. The lower B site looking to be overwhelmed by heroic as they go for the plant. Great shots to come out from youngster. Bring a bit of stability into this post-plant scenario as well. There's a lot of utility that they can deploy on down to the site, but it might not even be needed now with Wonderful coming in from the ramp. 1 versus 3 with the AWP. Gonna be very difficult. He's even made some noise now, so everyone can just target on towards him. It's gonna be Nilo for the final frag of the half. 7-5, Heroic leading on their own map pick of Nuke. See how things turn out after this. See what they're gonna be able to formulate on their own T side to save a bit of face here at IEM Chengdu.
Yeah, this could all go pear-shaped for them very quickly early on. Contact at ramp. Nilo not looking to face. Wonderful, though. Actually starting to be a thorn in the side of Heroic. They will take... Oh, under. Nilo's going to be harassed here. Yeah, let's have...
oh, wow. Stampede down lowers.
Teammate. It's done.
Not going to eventuate too much, though, is it? Alcaran, Youngstar, see what they can do to bring something back. It's just going to have to be some individual brilliance right now from them as well. Shut the doors, isolate the fight, but it doesn't matter as Bit just swings on through. And now Youngstar noted as well, and this is just nigh impossible, you would think. 1 versus 4. No util. No matter which angle that you want to go through, you are just not favored for this situation. So a quick pistol to be gathered here by NAVI, as they will look to equalize around the corner as well, unless we see some wild, wacky buyout from Heroic.
Hopefully they can not need that extra tactical timeout, but we'll see. There's still some in the court of Heroic too to... Nilo just...
Open the smoke. Nilo going to get pressured at the moment. He's got Alcaran to help him out, but the trades start to happen. Meanwhile, there was a little bit of an outers play from xCloud as well, but everyone's disconnected from him. And he's going to look to retreat back down to the secret stairs, where unfortunately Makaze had already gotten through. So this is looking promising for NAVI to be able to close another round. You've lost a lot of control down here, but it's Youngstar to see what he's going to be able to come up with as well to at least keep things maybe plausible for Heroic. The answer there is going to be no. Makaze too aware. And this is just going to switch into the save sim again here. NAVI starting to come up with some things on this T side.
Yeah, they're starting to cook. And I think for Heroic, their money's starting to really be an issue for them. That's almost immediately force this save as soon as they get control of lowers. Just a slow approach now from NAVI. They want to sound out where Heroic's at, what's going on with this buy. You know, they saved 2 weapons. What else have they got around it? What else have they got supporting it? Where is that orb going to be?
Another big thing right now is where is the util going to be for Heroic, because there's nothing. They just need their crosshairs aligned on up. And for Nilo, that doesn't work out. For the rest of the team, it's looking to be the same case at the moment, because Alexi B is just taking names on that top site. And it looks too easy for NAVI when they break in. 10 achieved.
So where to from here for Heroic? Obviously now able to have everybody on the same page in terms of buy. So that's actually a really bold push here. xCloud could be undone. They have 3 players outside. Oh,
gonna come down to the timing, isn't it? Smoke starts to fade. Makaze has slipped through here time and time again, so I really like this boldness from xCloud to push up. It's not going to be expected whatsoever, but that is a really unfortunate result, isn't it?
Smoke not fading his way. Quicker on the trigger.
Now what does the game plan look like for NAVI as well, right? Wall of smoke starts to fade. You can draw attention away. Let Bit cook a little. Let him see what he can find.
So they do find themselves passage to secret. And so just that pincer going to be able to come in through ramps now too. 3 players going to push in. Nilo actually has Youngstar in tow, so they're going to come head to head.
Oh, what a wide swing. Works out gorgeous for NAVI. Now it's just Alcaran to see if he can try and get 1 to equalize it at the moment. A re-challenge out. That's so ambitious from Alexi. You got to remember that this B site is the point in play for NAVI to get this bomb plant down, but this is a workable scenario now for Heroic. Enough time to safely get this one down. Gonna link on up. Play from the ramp together, but meanwhile, NAVI is gonna tuck together as well. Watch an angle each. And just wait to see where Heroic are going to reveal themselves from. Start to meander in towards the site. There's got a kit in play as well. Can try and drop the smoke onto the bomb, tap on towards it, and now the onus is definitely on Navi. Keep an eye on Bit with the HE if needed as well. Door, well, it's just going to get opened and the spray is going to happen. Doesn't even need that piece of utility, and that is just all for the rounds. Too little, too late for Heroic, as Navi inch a little bit closer to closing this map.
Wow, that's a big round win for Navi. Allow the smokes to bloom before getting himself across. Now, Vipers, there we go. They knew push. But the trade, there we go. Bit finds two. There we have the top site starting to open up. Are they going to commit?
Well, it might be the remainder of it, right? The old CT vent. Linus is stuck, trying to drop the smoke to get on out of this problem spot. He's just going to get booked straight through that. Nilo and Youngstar, the former being red for the wraparound as well, and now it's just the one to see if he can come out with something. The kill leader currently for Heroic. He's positioning around, but it's the difference of the AK versus the A1 at that point, and now.
Allowed Navi also not just to find space, but to find match point, which is going to be problematic. Obviously for Heroic, they've really got to do it tough if they're going to have any chance in this map. So Navi may just be coasting now.
And the fact that we don't see Heroic get anything on this CT side is a very worrisome thing. Traded out, ramp room established. Navi have options if they want, but Alcaran still keep a bit of a grasp on this round as well. Maybe a chance here for Heroic. Smokes will start to fade and out as the next Floud. Oh, he's just going to catch Mikaze looking the wrong way. This is a lot better for Heroic. But the question is it too little, too late? I don't want to see a world in which they give Navi chances here as well to try to get back in towards this round, because Linus, he is isolated by himself. Wonderful. Head removed. And now just Alexi B, and he can't get it done either. So they won't go down without a fight on this CT side, Heroic, but they have a couple more chances left to try and tie things up, and you know it's going to still be difficult at every corner.
We're happy to go back to what's worked because I've got a lot of data on it now.
Well, backed up again. Oh, the util though this time. Going to drop and deploy a lot of that early on. That is a risky gamma to go through the smoke as Nilo just done again dirty. Youngstar, he's going to catch them with their pants down a little bit, but he would have loved to find more than one. We're so hungry for kills at the moment, Heroic. They will not go down quietly at all. But they lose the control over at the ramp room at the moment. As I say that, X-Cloud is going to catch Wonderful. More battles just everywhere around the map. And Heroic can take a little bit of a breath now in this 2 versus 1.
Yeah, it seems that every point of contact, someone from Heroic was actually trying to be activated into the round. They were trying to take territory. And X-Cloud and Linus are going to stand shoulder and shoulder and see if they can just stake out Imet. He's got that position. He's very confident in it, but...
Oh, sees the gun barrel. Knows where the second one is as well. X-Cloud, he's only got an incendiary. He'd need a potentially even like fake pistol flash or something here, but he's just looking the wrong way. Imma, 2 1v1s to close there. Nicely done. A pretty nice flawless half from Navi, to be honest with you. Just dropping the 1 round.
So I'm going to look to see whether or not how involved we get Alcaran on this CT side, because he was a key point for them early on, and he's going to be called on pretty quickly in this. They're going to have to get out of that site. They do not want to be run over. They're going to play for the retake.
Well, the space is going to be taken by Navi as well for the split retake to start to come on through. No flashes to try and set up Wonderful. It's just going to be the whole team together as a unit, and that's going to be the attempt for Heroic to start to go on in. Mikaze to start to double down to answer back, and this is just going handsomely again for Navi. Just Alcaran, as you mentioned his name before, given an opportunity though, he can start to find a couple of crispy headshots. 1 versus 3. Now to try and bring this one in, but with no kit, it is just way too difficult to try to get in towards this retake, and he will get punished by Alexi B at the end for Navi to pick up the pistol.
Whether they're going to do something funky on the back of that, or they're just going to try and play relatively standard, we will see. They actually are going to stack numbers towards me. I don't mind that on a round like this. You kind of need to do something a little bit more, I guess, off the cuff than standard. It looks like they're going to just
you got to
flash.
Yeah, you got to remember as well, the second round force-up didn't work on Nuke for Heroic. It's looking to do the exact same here as well in the 1-4, where you just missed the timing as the one player in mid. And even the force stack over towards B is only getting a little tickle of damage in there as well. You can retrieve the Galil as Youngstar to see what extra damage you're going to be able to formulate. And whilst there is something here, some substance in the round for Heroic, are you going to be able to find a 1 versus 2 clutch on 17 HP?
Yeah, maybe he's just going to be satisfied with the AK. Maybe that, to be honest with you, should be enough to bolster CT economy.
Bomb will eventually explode, but it's not as close to wonderful to really cause any too much of a concern. Youngstar's going to stun, and yeah, he was heard. You can look for the weapon.
Somehow Youngstar has, you know, ended off best in terms of money. He's like, hey guys, can you drop me? I'm just going to sit straight out mid.
This is a bit of a meaty mid-fight for the first couple seconds, and then it all but disappears as well. The mid-smokes for NAVI going to permit a bit of frolicking for Makaze. Once again, the normal state for him on this map, but the peel away now. You know, slot Alexi B in for the late activation to see what he can do. As Heroic need to make sure that they are going to 100% the rest of this round. Of course, get that round on the board. You still have to play with the economy of NAVI. This is a needed fight for Alcarin to win at the moment. He'll hear all the util starting to come down towards the A site as well. He'll win that duel, but now they'll start to lose everything on the A site itself. Bit is just cracking heads.
Yeah, rock solid from Bit. He had to post up on that line. And Makaze's been pretty solid too. But there's no real interest in this retake coming out of Heroic. As we saw, the money situation's not great. They empty out everything in this buy. And so if they lose everything in this round, that's going to be a really rough run for them. Also prevent pushes too.
Who bites first at the moment? Shoulder peeking out from Nilo, and that is just ill-advised, isn't it? The AWP of Wonderful is indeed wonderful for NAVI to continue this run on the T side. Util starting to be sent in towards the A site. An investment, a peak of interest from Youngstar of Yonder. He finds one, but all the action on this site itself is starting to come up good from the weakest weapon in the round. 2 versus 2, but very split currently for NAVI.
Yeah, and I think, you know, the rotation has been pulled off that B site. Now, Wonderful has just got to try and also make his way through. He's not going to take the risk in trying to cut off the CT rotation by pushing through to Red Room. He's just going to try and at least join his teammate in the post-plant defense. And so, Heroic, I don't know. Do they really want to try and go for this? Another similar scenario for the money. If they're going for it, they're taking their time, but I just don't think it's, you know, the juice is worth the squeeze there.
Yeah. Again, it's just another situation where you've got to put a premium on the weapons if you can't really get the round out. And it feels a little bit bad for Heroic as well, right? Because they do get Linus doing what he can with the MP9. You got Youngstar that does win that duel over at the B site before being traded.
So let's just see what kind of inventory gets expended quite early on in the piece. Nice instant smoke into to mid and to laneway. And
yeah, there's push. Yeah, many members this time from Heroic over in mid. Blow open the smoke. Youngstar comes out favorable in that duel. X-Cloud as well. So here we go. We finally have something for Heroic. As I say that, though, Makaze will make Nilo fall. A second one as well. NAVI, no matter where they go, always good for something in these rounds. But in the moment,
is actually being somewhat countered by the push from Linus as well. So this is going to be...
No one's watching Imma.
Yeah.
He's found the gap. Or has he? Just the timing for Alcarin.
Yeah, that was a real danger play, wasn't it? It's been silenced. Bit can do some damage. I mean, if he takes a frag here, right, like he keeps that CT economy in the position of having to rebuy. So you're going to check that angle. I think he's just going to be shot in the back.
Yep.
They keep 3 alive.
Pushing out towards the A site, yet to get activated.
Bread and butter shot there for Alcarin.
Rewarded for the patience. 40 seconds to go for NAVI from behind now. Great nade on towards the ramp as well. But now you start to stretch out into the site. Trades to come through, but a backing of heroic members here. And that's just enough immediately. 30 seconds. Bit and wonderful. No utility to really get back in towards a B site that you already feel is such a stronghold in this moment for heroic. So they're just going to have to call it here. The money is also in the worrisome state. The accumulation of damage previously from heroic now rearing its head in towards the server. So they'll double their rounds counts. No, I mean, they deployed them nice and early on over on map number 1 as well, right? And eventually that works out a treat in the second half for that T side. So if they can try and exercise them here to at least lead at the half, it'll be good for them. Another mid-brawl to come on out, and everybody is just bloody blinded at the moment. The spray's coming out, but it works in treat for Youngster to have attention drawn away from him. Only good for one, and now it's the ramp up towards this B site to get on in to try and get the plant down. You look at Linus to do something, but he's read like a book by Wonderful. And now Nilo, the player who's been tasked for the donut A hold for the 1 versus 2. A dry contact through the smoke. Not going to work out as NAVI will claim 6.
Success in the following round. And, I mean, there's a reason they use them. There's a reason they're so effective.
Yeah. I mean, this one could be good for 2 as well for heroic, right? So we'll have to see if they can come out with a good idea. You've got the AWP from Alcaran poised over towards that B ramp, but more importantly, you've got a kill claimed in mid that will settle as well.
Yeah, just making sure that there's no CT pushes coming through.
Oh, give Linus a bit of a awareness that you are around him, and he's just going to put you to rest. This is looking very nice for heroic in this round.
Oh, that Molotov finds its target. Spam just forcing Linus to retreat.
Yeah,
they not overextend
like
themselves here, heroic. They need to be careful.
Yeah. I was going to say, might be curtains closed on xCloud if he keeps on going, but in the 4 versus 2, they should be shut for NAVI. There's the first and the second. Good little full house put up by them on the CT side.
The first stages of this half, if they can recover it to a 6-6, I think it's a success story for them because they've turned the tide of momentum. As they lay down that utility, there we go. In that, just sending it through that smoke, sending it through that Molotov. They haven't been able to find an opener in a while.
Yeah. It is the lesser pistols as well, don't forget, for NAVI. So any upgrades that they can get here pilfered from your opponent's corpse will be a necessary pickup, you'd assume. Nilo pushed down yet again deep. Hasn't had an actual challenge here at all. So I'd wonder if NAVI even theorized that this is going to be here. You look back to previous games, and it is a spot that they generally push out when they go for a more mid-presence position on heroic, and Nilo will be good for 1. Can he retreat, though, as well, or just look for more in the fights? The answer is going to be yes. But when that all settles down, it's still a 3 versus 3.
Yeah, and this is potential for Youngster to be caught out. He does get caught out just trying to change his position up in mid. I don't know if that push was necessary.
It's a bit ugly. Meanwhile, Alexi B hasn't felt like he can find the right timing and space to push up towards the B side of the map either. You're really spread thin now as heroic too to try and link up in towards mid. Would have been the idea for the beginning there, but 30 seconds to go. Now you start to bring the bomb in towards that Bravo site, and unfortunately for heroic, or maybe fortunately, it will switch into a retake. They've got utility, they've got kits. It is the last round. They're definitely going to have to give it a go, but you can just see the patience from NAVI at the moment to put the protocols down to try and execute properly into this site.
And down they go. So, Linus will have Alcaran in tow. Both of these two players have been quite solid, but they're going to be called on to try and dissect this. Utility-wise, Alcaran's got that full belt, so he's got some options.
Yep, spotting out one player down the ramp. Alexi B is going to get flushed out by the molly as well. So you got 2 numbers noted now as Heroic. You need to start to get in though. Time is ticking away. Yes, you've got the kits, but you need to hit the shots, and that's just not going to bloody happen. 7-5 for NAVI is what they will end this half on. This time in the lead. We'll see if they can close it out after the halftime break, or if Heroic are going to be able to try and send us to a third on this T side to try and extend this series.
And, well, no Molotovs in tow, so maybe not literal heat in this round. But regardless, you're right. They've got to stand on their own 2 feet at the moment, and Wonderful is going to make sure that they are sleeping horizontally, at least one of them.
Yeah, but if you still go into this B side, I mean, you're going to have to contend with them when the smokes fade in a quick wrap, right?
Yeah. Quick flank, though, from Makaze. Going to keep Alcaran on his toes.
Yeah. Oh, try to catch him in a reload as well. Makaze gets the bullets back in towards the clip as well, but the same can be said for Nilo. He gets caught running out of them, and now, as quick as you like it, Linus in the 1 versus 2. No kits currently in possession. No util. The tap out on towards it. They know where he is. The challenge of the fight. He's looking for the headshots, and he cannot calculate it, unfortunately. NAVI, yet again. Pistol. Yeah, I mean, you want to talk about an underdog story. You generally want to get a couple of freebie rounds. You want the second rounds after the pistols. Well, that's all 4 pistols for NAVI at the moment. And it might be another round that they can deliver with here, unless the overwhelming forces of Heroic straight shooting into this B site like the Peanut Gallery can get in and maybe solidify a round. Player goes down. Wonderful gets not even traded. Doesn't find one.
Nothing.
And now Makaze to sleuth his way in towards the site, gets immediately damaged, half HP. There's a couple of low members of Heroic here, but it's still a 1 versus 3. They don't line up for him at the end, and it will be the force up. Well played out, well rushed into by Heroic. Oh,
Let's not get overwhelmed.
Yeah, just going to get hunted, but you recognize the situation as NAVI as well, that there might be numbers around it. Bit now hungry to do what Alexi B could not from the same position. Don't tell me he's going to die as well. No, never mind. The headshots of the Deagle is starting to come through. Finds 2. Makaze, it would have been gorgeous if you could have found one as well, but the extension from Youngstar further into the site, the 3K from him. Now looking to see what the rest of the team are going to be able to do. Wonderful now in the 1 versus 2, but just not going to be given an opportunity, is he?
Well, I don't know about that, because it's a foot race over towards A, and I think he's going to definitely get there at a very awkward timing.
Oh, plant will start to go down. You've got the AWP locked and loaded on towards his location as well. That's a gimme from Xflower. What you doing there, mate? Now Wonderful spotted out where Alcaran is playing from. A little bit of damage in. He reads the right angle, but just getting caught out by the AWP. It's a damaging round that comes through, but nevertheless, Heroic will maintain. Already getting a little bit of this further control as well, where you're not going to see too much retaliation in terms of bodies from NAVI at the moment. Just very spread around the map. And again, as Heroic, you'll regroup yourselves too. You'll look to set things up towards this B side. What is that shot? Illegal.
That is one way to crack the round open, that's for sure. And so some pressure applied towards B.
Yeah, single smoke just going to be disrespected. Heroic going to get in towards this B site at the moment. The challenge on towards Alexi B and Bits. It's just going to have to be the ladder. He's not going to get touched by the flames, but he will start to get challenged yet again. Hello, Makaze. You've now arrived to the party, but you overlooked the spot of Alcaran. Youngstar there as well to close it, and Heroic 3 alive at the tail end of that one.
Definitely put them on paper as the team to beat in this series. So those instant smokes going down in mid. No interest towards anywhere else in the map but A. They are one-track mining it straight on in Heroic. Changing the pace after the tactical timeout. Wonderful finds the first pick. They actually isolate Makaze.
Yeah, they want to go in, don't they? A little bit too greedy at the moment. NAVI, the plant, starts to go down. There's not a lot of utility for this retake either, and no kit. So at least a bit of a saving grace for NAVI that they are here super early to go in for the big fight on this retake, but it's just going to come down to making sure that you do hit your shots. 2 from the temple. Lexi B smoked out yet again in Donut, but now you start to formulate what this retake can look like. The challengers just getting held at bay. Trades start to come through. It's very successful yet again for Heroic, as Alexi B, the lone survivor now in a 1 versus 3, finds the first, but as I mentioned earlier, no kit, and there's just no opportunity to get this one done.
Yeah, very difficult for them. They did a great job of rotating early on, right? Very much limiting the post-plant position options for Heroic, but Heroic were just ready, standing there to trade things out. They knew that there was going to be a stream of CTs rolling in, and they just, you know, their first matchup against Astralis, they were looking good. They've looked good so far in this series. The second half, though, has been a totally different story. Heroic have been able to find the, I guess, you know, success formula, and they haven't looked back.
Ooh. Lexi B needs to be a little bit careful at the moment. Emma, very narrow focus, just not expecting Alcaran to be there whatsoever. There is an eventual trade. And you'll go in towards Wonderful's crosshairs on the A side of the map as well. He's hungry for more. He's given the opportunity. They're trying to get this done early before the plan can even go down.
Yeah. Just chilling in the smoke too. Bit might be able to prevent the plant here. Nope. He does delay.
Hold.
What on earth?
It's a quick turnaround from Heroic, isn't it? X-Cloud, Youngster getting some action, and now it's all just down to Alexi B, the captain, to come up clutch. And his position already being held by X-Cloud. You would not expect this AWP to miss its shot, and it does not. 13-8, Heroic answer back. They are happy as Larry with the result of this one to try and send us and extend this series to the third map in Inferno. Yeah, it's the do or die time now for both of these teams in IEM Chengdu, who will be continuing on in this lower bracket run to still have a big challenge against Spirit or Falcons. We'll find out on an El Clasico on Inferno.
Yep, our favorite arena. I feel like we've seen a lot of it, and that's a lot of grenades down Banana. Oh. They only go 1 for 1 though. They need to be careful here, Heroic. They don't want to be caught out. They are just opting to fight, but they do get out in time. Didn't want to be overrun there. So Banana Control going the way of NAVI. And, well, X-Cloud has got barely any HP to work with.
Yeah, that's a Sharpie from Linus. Do hear a couple of clicks, so we'll see what that is going to be a little bit later on. But of course, this round is live, but maybe not for too much longer. Navi, you are locked in towards Banana, and you need to hit some sinister shots to get out of this one. And I say that Alcaran, X-Cloud are quite low, but Linus at the moment in the barbecue just going to get burnt. The bomb to make its way in towards the site, but there's some recovery now from Navi as it goes down.
Yeah, wonderful. Just finding through the smoke X-Cloud, who couldn't convert. Very slim opportunity that he had. Now, Alcaran's got this flank potential. And he's going to show in the archway. But there's nobody peeking from Navi. They're very disciplined now.
Good shots to start to come out. Now it's Nilo for the 1 versus 2. Finds the first one. You think he might have been favorable for the second to Alexi B. So Navi are doing quite the effort to try and weaken Heroic's affairs for the tail end of this round. Archers and Library Smoke starting to come on down. Big classic ones for the A side wrap if you want to try and come out with it. But it's into the crosshairs of Alcaran now with this orb. Nilo off yonder finds Alexi B. There's time on this server. That's going to be an issue. Youngstar trying to do what he can, needs more. Will find 10 seconds to establish this bomb plant, but Linus is already here. The trade comes out, and just like that, it's a 1 versus 1. Bit on 16 HP. Not knowing where X-Cloud is coming from just yet.
Yeah, but he's got an idea that it's probably not with the main grouping of CTs. So smart from X-Cloud to sort of wrap back around and hopefully catch him not expecting this push.
Oh, he's looking the wrong way. That's the problem. Bit not even thinking that he's going to come from the other side. You can always make a discussion about what happens if they had another timeout in the second half. Doesn't really matter though. Heroic did ultimately just look a lot stronger. Now we need to see what they can put up in this round, because xCloud, you've just been decapitated very decisively, and this B site now doesn't need to be overwhelmed by Na'Vi. They can settle here with this player advantage.
And try and stack this site. If, you know, if Youngstar gets that inkling it's going back towards A, then he's just going to call and fall away. But no, it is the right call here for Heroic.
Oh, Makaze, he's somehow managed to get in here with still a handsome amount of HP on the body. He gets in and he finds Linus. Okay, maybe we are just trying to bully our way into this B site. And look at that, Makaze, Alexi B steamrolling into this site. And Youngstar, he might not even survive here because there's two players for Na'Vi that are still surrounding his spot. Imma in mid and Bit wrapping around the apartments at the moment. It gets a little bit hot under the collar as Youngstar as he tries to hold on to this A1S for the tail end of this round. Now spotted out. It's the duel against Bit. But is he going to be able to hold on to this AK for the remainder?
Yeah, it was not going to get out of that fight without a fight. And the second fight comes in. Ima catches him out. And so they've actually... You can see how jumpy, though, Heroic are, right? Like, as soon as there's a presence shown towards the A site, immediately, like, they've got that player rotating. They've got two players double up in Arch. And they've always
got four players
Diggity, yeah.
Here it's in its entirety, right? So now it's the kind of go time for Alcaran to see what he can do. Nilo just getting peppered by the utility, flashed as well. Opening frags going the way of Na'Vi. It's another bully moment to get in towards this A site. And with the plant that starts to go down, it is a 2 versus 2. Linus has to draw some attention. He does find Bit, and it's a crazy one on the spot. But now it's all wonderful. 1 versus 1. Orp, and he's looking at the right spot this time. xCloud again. We saw Bit look the wrong way last time, but this time Wonderful has learned. No, he hasn't. He's looked away at the wrong moment. It's all timing. Oh, no. You think he had the right read.
Yeah, thankfully they've got some more money where that came from. The bomb plan also definitely helps that scenario. That's a meaty grenade straight on up.
Yeah, we've seen a couple of good ones at the very beginning of a couple of these rounds from Heroic, but a lot of them were unconfirmed. This time, Alcaran's going to finish off Alexi B, and now it might be a bit of a quicker one to come out from Na'Vi towards this A site. The apartments pop. They're going to go on through. Flashes are there, but it doesn't matter. Smoke, you will not pass. And I thought for a second the youngster wasn't going to see Wonderful. Doesn't really matter. This is looking a hell of a lot better for Heroic this time. Alcaran on the board finally as well after being 0 for 7. And now it's all down to Makaze in the apartments position now noted. Good for the first. An attempted trade out from Alcaran too. That one will miss, but it's just a couple of seconds you'd expect until Makaze will fall. As Linus was wrapping behind him.
Yeah, he's kind of stopped, hasn't he? And he's going to come face to face with him anyway. But I'll be honest with you, it really looked quite disjointed from Na'Vi. I think they really fell apart as soon as there was some city aggression shown.
Seeing if there's any overextensions from Heroic, which we might get now, but it's a perfect flash. Unfortunate they don't manage to confirm the kill, though.
Yeah, would have loved a confirmation of kill, wouldn't they? But for now, Youngstar does spot out one. Smoke just hop onto jungle side, and that's going to be Ime trying to create some space now for his teammates. Nilo's going to be pressed through that smoke, but he has to take a duel. He does very well.
Oh, Alcaran.
Oh, is he going to push?
I thought he was. I mean, he thinks better of it. He has an AWP in the moment. He would Pinocchio himself through potentially. And he can wait for the timing for xCloud to come through apartments as well. Makaze this time finds the right spot to sit for the remainder of this one, but he has to get out of dodge. He'll just start to be charged upon. Doesn't matter at the end. Imma will burn Alcaran as well. You can come out with something here. You've got the AWP that will hold the line as well. You can switch things up. This is a very important round for Heroic. No money in the back pocket if this one gets dropped. Alcaran just going to get shouldered out by Imma.
Oh, nice little play. Removes the threat. Always present.
Even remove the gun too.
Yeah, nothing to be taken.
Attempts the silent drop over a B. xCloud's timing on the smoke, though, should command a little bit of respect. But he is the only player here currently at this side of the map, too.
Yeah, the push even going through from Youngstar. He's opted to keep the MP9. I've got no doubt he saw the AWP.
Yeah.
Oh, the block on the smoke. Here we go. Youngstar's actually been activated.
Oh.
However, Alexi B doesn't need vision. And they are going to get themselves into this B site. The bomb plant will follow.
Yeah, HE grenade not going to do too much, unfortunately. Not planting at the standard spot behind the fountain. And Emma, he'll already be spotting out what Youngstar is looking to cook up. However, he was missing some ingredients to have that one. And now in this 2 versus 2, the retake is certainly on. Linus and Youngstar to come together. What a shot from Youngstar. Straight through the boxes. And Wonderful now stuck in the smoke of his opponents, and they know it. He's going to stretch out and be put to rest. 5 rounds now for Heroic.
Damn. If you're Youngstar, you're fired up, right? Like, you could see him in the player cams there. He was waiting for that high five.
As I mentioned, they were out of funds if they'd lost that previous one, just on the loss bonus.
It's not necessarily a situation you want to be in either for NAVI, but xCloud does get flashed out, only finds one. That grenade was very close to getting the job done.
Certainly so. But you reset yourselves on the round yet again. Alcaran, how long does he stick around waiting for the smoke to come his way? Dry swing with a flash behind it. Pulls the trigger on that. Emma down. And a mid walk now from Heroic as well. They're going to completely catch Bit. No, they're not. They're looking the wrong way. This round is flipping back in towards Navi's favor unless Alcaran can do something about it, or unless maybe Bit can win this duel against Nilo, which he cannot. So we keep going in this tumultuous affair between these two teams. 30 seconds to go, and Alcaran is on the perfect line. His decision making here is looking good. Alexi B, remember, 11 HP to try and confirm this round for Navi. And he's going to tickle his opponent, but he cannot get it done. A tied scoreline at the half now, 6-6. This is an elimination game, remember.
They're going to come into contact very shortly with Imat. And he doesn't want to be overwhelmed as well. They are just slowly creeping their way forward. And there's still 3 players sitting towards the speed site. Are they going to rotate whatsoever? Yes, they will on the back of this.
Yeah, Emma pressured at the moment. Would have had to cop a reload soon, but now the damage starts to be delivered. Bit needs at least one more, you would assume, as Nilo takes the furthest space towards the archers. Will confirm a lead going into this post-plant scenario.
Yeah, I don't know if this is certainly in the range of doable for Navi, but they're going to give it a crack. If they can find an early opener, that will certainly help their cause. But I think as they just scamper around this site, the task gets a little more difficult.
Yeah. Going on in though. Wonderful with the duel. He's getting dinked on up. Can he confirm things? Well, he needs to find everything. He cannot do it. Nilo for the 2. And folks, there were 5 pistol rounds in this series for Navi.
Just the solo smoke over towards the B site, hoping to keep a rotator there, but this is where Navi is just going to pack on a punch.
Yeah. Thing is, Heroic can technically leave now if they wanted to as well towards that B site. They do have the better weaponry, and they start to have a good little grasp on it. Or do they? Bit. Always good for a double, it feels. Linus and Youngstar are very low. This is going to be an opportunity. Great molly, though, is going to finish off him, and Bit does get his head removed. So, okay. Heroic can facilitate themselves a bomb plant, but Alexi B is going to be here relatively early enough to have some breathing room to try and make this retake work.
Is he going to be able to catch one? Nope, they peek at the same time. You can't do anything in that scenario if you're Alexi.
Good from Heroic, though, if you are a fan of theirs, though, right? Dodge all of that utility. Set themselves up for a bit of an easier take later on. Do like this little bait and switch play over at the porch.
Oh, Oh, bit.
Very convincing from Heroic to come out on top of that one. Very rapid for the repeaks, and Youngstar winning a very important duel against Imma. This, if you've ever seen it, is a save for Navi.
Yeah, and I think this is where NAVI, it was, you know, they just needed to get through the rough patch on their CT side, which, you know, we saw them experience on Nuke, but yeah, since then it's been much smoother sailing.
Gotta remember though as well, right? Game's not over just yet. That's a rough one for Makaze.
Yeah, that's rolled that dice, right? Like, yeah, if they'd have had 3 players survive in that last round, you'd make a case that maybe in the next round they could buy if they still lose it. This is where it gets really difficult for them to buy if they do lose this round. So it could really be a slippery slope for NAVI if they don't find success.
They're winless on this CT side. Winless!
Yeah. It's no secret.
Makaze, though, will open up the accounts this time onto xCloud and get out with some HP. But it all comes down to timing now over at this B side of the map. Wonderful and Alexi B, they plant their feet. Finally, we start to see something from Navi. They might even run it back with all 5 alive, but no, Bit will fall in the end, and Imma will take the 1v1 duel against Nilo, who he does lose the fight. Now Navi have the bomb. But Nilo, yeah, he's not going to really read this one, is he?
No. Makaze does find the timing. They've just been shut down. If Navi has no fans, then they are no more.
We'll see. As I said, they've made the comeback happen. They've given enough of a taste to Heroic, right, to now pull it back. Makaze's burning again, folks. He's really risking it for the biscuit in a couple of these ones, and this time he does take a good bite, but he lost the rest of the cookie. Imma's gone.
It's not a good start, but at least the damage is done equally across both teams. That being said, though, you lose a player early on CT side, right? Like, you have to start taking some risks. The rotations, you have to get them exactly right. So there's no room for error here. Oh, Wonderful is going to up the ante, though.
He's looking for it, isn't he? And he's going to find that onto Linus as well. Taking some commanding lines of sight is what you want to see from Navi. Don't shy away from some of these fights. Now, the prospect of finding Alexi B here is going to be quite good. The molly out, he's going to swing. He's going to get immediately taken. Once again, it is wonderful to answer with the AWP. 30 seconds to try and establish a bomb plant here. And what are the options for Nilo and Alcaran? If they go into this site still, there's a bit of a delayed crossfire that can come out. Now the util starts to go down. You know Wonderful's going to be back on towards the AWP line, and he's just good for it. Bit to close, and there is another round for Navi. So the bombardment's down banana now, going to fade away likewise of these smokes, but you still got a good hang around from the Navi members at the top of it to see what they can do. Timing to come on out from xCloud. He finally actually gets a fight before he dies immediately, but he does get traded in the end.
Yeah, you got to be feeling for him too. He's definitely gone very cheaply.
And with Bit rotating over now as well, he can't even assist with any utility of his own, right? It's just going to be these rifles that need to get the job done by Navi. 20 seconds to go. They can pull the rug out from under Heroic here if they catch him looking the wrong way. The first one doesn't go good for Alexi B, and Imma is only good for one himself. 10 seconds. Do you throw caution to the wind as Bit or not to try and stop that plant? It goes down as Youngstar elevates himself. It's a 2 versus 2 now. Wonderful with the AWP to see what he can come out with. Youngstar now spotted. Needs to reposition as well. This is getting sweaty now for Bit. A flash on in, and it doesn't work out. It's a team blinding there. Problematic for Navi, as now they face elimination.
Oh, this is series point for Heroic. And who would have thought at the start of this series they'd be in this position?
Yeah.
I don't think anybody would have been predicting them to take the series. But here they are on the third map. They are getting themselves closer.
you know that the players on this roster are going to be feeling pretty damn happy.
Oh, absolutely. And deservedly so. Okay, this is already action. Makaze, he has been isolated entirely and overrun. That's not a good start to what is a very important round for Navi.
There's some damage to xCloud and to Linus. Wonderful has moved the orb over towards this site as well, but he misses a very crucial shot. Now Alexi B smoked off, gets away with one, and he can't re-peek in towards this situation either. He has to get flashed on in, and it will come out to the sprays going through the smoke, but he's just popping in and out. Eventually gets laid to rest, and we're in another 3 versus 2 on this B site.
Yeah, the bomb's only just gone down too, so Bit's going to be the late rotator. And so he's just going to wait for the smoke to fade. However, xCloud is going to stop him from trying to cross, and it's allowed a window of opportunity for Imet. And now they're doubled back in Emo. Could this work?
Bit has the HE, can't afford to pull it out at the moment, needs the crosshair to be placed. No kits for the CT, starting to come on through. Nilo falls, Alcarin position not known just yet for the first. Bit is low within an inch of his life, gets finished off by Alcarin. It's 13-8 again in this series, and folks, NAVI get eliminated by Heroic. They had nothing to really lose as the underdogs in this series, and they will continue on in IEM Chengdu.